Yo, 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 how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream. Today is all about the major 7 sharp 11 chord. This is a really exciting one. This is a chord that you can use in many different ways, and I'm going to show you all of them. So it's going to be a really in-depth lesson. There's going to be a bit of theory involved, so if you have any issues, drop them in the chat and I will help you out as much as I can. So we may as well just get straight into the lesson. Thanks for coming along, everyone who's here now, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with the lesson overview. So what are we going to learn today? So we're going to learn how to use the major 7 chord diatonically. Okay, so how to use it very, very basically in a chord progression. Then next we're going to show I can't speak today. Next, I'm going to show you how to end your chord progressions with the major 7 sharp 11. Rajesh, I'm glad you love music theory because there's going to be a lot today. Okay, so after that, we're going to learn how to use it as a passing chord, and then we're going to learn how to reharmonize with it, so how to play the chord over particular melodies to kind of create a very spicy sounding chord progression over the top. And then finally, we're going to take a look at how to change key with the major 7 sharp 11 chord. So it's going to be very in-depth. The major 7 sharp 11 chord is absolutely one of my favorite chords to play, just because of how much you can do with it. Okay, so let's first of all learn how we can play the chord, or learn how to play the chord. Okay, I'm going to show you how to play with the root note on the low E string, with the root note on the A string, and then also a version with 4 strings. Okay, so let's take a look at the first way we can play a C major 7 sharp 11 chord. Lydian vibes indeed. That sharp 11 is very, very, very Lydian and gives it that dreamy sound. Okay, so that is the first way of playing the major 7 sharp 11. Playing the 8th fret of the low E, the 9th fret of the D, 9th fret of the G, and the 7th fret of the B string. Interesting sound there. Okay, then let's take a look at the second way we can play the chord. So, oh, by the way, guys, can you hear me okay? I'm guessing you can based on the comments, but if you can hear everything and see everything fine, just drop a number 1 in the chat so I know that everything's all good. Then the second way to play the C major 7 sharp 11 is this. Okay, so we're playing the 3rd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, 4th fret of the G, 5th fret of the B string, and the 2nd fret of the high E string. Okay, and then the final way to play the major 7 sharp 11 chord is this. So this is a major 7 sharp 11 chord, but with the root note as the second lowest note rather than the lowest note. Okay. And I'm glad to hear that there's good audio balance between the mic and guitar. That's very good to hear. So in the chord diagram, you'll see that it says a flat 5. I made a mistake there. It should say sharp 11. Okay, flat 5th and sharp 11 are basically the same thing in this situation. So yeah, okay. So now that we know how to play the major 7 sharp 11 chord, let's take a look at the first use for the major 7 sharp 11 chord. Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. I am looking for this. Okay, so method 1 is to use the major 7 sharp 11 chord as your 4 chord. So the major 7 sharp 11 chord appears diatonically as the 4 chord in your key. So if we're in the key of G, then the 4 chord is C, because in the key of G, G, A, B, C, chord 4 is C. So we'd play a C major 7 sharp 11 chord. Let's take a look at an example at where we can actually use the major 7 sharp 11 chord as chord 4. So I've had a bit of a rejig in my live streaming setup, and I've managed to figure out a way to get tabs nice and big on the screen while you can still see me. I think this looks pretty cool. So let's take a look at the chord progression. We're playing a G major 7, which is number 1 in our key, G major 7, A minor 7, which is chord 2. Then we're going to chord 4, which is this method. We're playing the C major 7 sharp 11 chord there, and then we're going to chord 5, which is D7, and resolving back on 1, which is G major 7. Okay, let's take a listen to how that sounds. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. There is the major 7 sharp 11 chord in action with the first method. Chris Heaton, is that a serious comment? I'm not sure. If you can't see me, then I'm going to be very, very, very concerned. Cool. All right. Well, I'm glad, Cade, Kieran, you can see me. Okay, cool. So, method number 2 is the 1 chord. Okay, so you can use the major 7 sharp 11 chord as the 1 chord in your key. Okay, it's not diatonic though. Chris, I don't know why you can't see my video. That is very interesting. Maybe try refreshing the video and see if that works. That is very strange. Seeing as, I assume everyone else can see the video. Yeah. So, good. Glad to see that you can see it. Awesome. Okay, right, let's keep going. So, method 2 is the 1 chord. You can use the major 7 chord as your 1 chord. It's not diatonic, as I said. Okay, so you've got to use it with caution. Okay. I don't know why it works. It just sounds pretty cool to use it as your 1 chord and resolve your chord progressions on it. So let's take a listen to the chord progression that I created using the major 7 sharp 11 chord as the 1 chord. So I'm playing C major 7, which is 1. Then I'm playing A minor 9, which is 6. Then I'm playing 4, which is F major 9. And then I'm playing 5, which is G7, and then resolving back on 1, but instead of playing a C major 7, I'm playing a C major 7 sharp 11, okay? This sounds very, very nice. Let's take a listen to it. Very dreamy, very spicy. I really like that. Okay, so that is another way you can use your major 7 sharp 11 chord. So it's been pretty simple stuff so far, I hope. It's going to start ramping up a little bit. It's going to get a little bit more theory intensive now. Okay, so before we continue, okay, all the examples in this video are from my book Chord Charisma 2.0. Okay, I talk about the major 7 sharp 11 chord in detail in my book, like I'm doing today, and I talk about a few other chords in this amount of detail. So if you like this kind of stuff, you're definitely going to like my book Chord Charisma 2.0. Okay, you can get the first 2 chapters for free, as I say in all my videos. So if you haven't done that yet, then you should definitely capitalize on that. Also, if you haven't liked the video, please drop a like down below, as that really, really helps me out. So let's continue with the lesson. Method number 3 is to be used as a passing chord. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play the major 7 sharp 11 chord on the flat 7th degree of our scale. Okay, so let me just have a sip of water quick. And again, guys, if you have any issues with anything I'm saying, any questions, if I'm talking too fast, please let me know in the chat and I'll accommodate for you. Okay, so we're playing the major 7 sharp 11 on the flat 7th degree of our key. So we're playing in the key of C, for example. That's going to be B flat, and we're going to play a B flat major 7 sharp 11. All we have to do to find our flat 7 degree is just drop 2 frets below the root note of our key, okay, or the tonic, I should say. So we're playing B flat major 7 sharp 11, and from there it leads us very nicely into our 5 chord. So in this case it would be G7. All right, and then we can head back to C again. So let's just hear that one more time. There we go. Thanks, Kieran. I'm aware of the transition issue. I have no idea how to fix it, but it's not a big deal, I don't think. So yeah, thanks anyway. So let's keep going into the example. Number 4. There we go. No, that's not the one. That's later on. Number 3 is what we're looking for. Okay, so I'm playing a C6/9 chord. That's chord 1. A minor 7. That's chord number 6. Then I'm playing that B flat major 7 sharp 11 passing chord, which leads into G7. And then we're playing the C major 7 sharp 11 tip number 2 to resolve and finish the chord progression. Okay, that B flat major 7 sharp 11 is our passing chord. Let's take a listen to how it sounds. There we go. Sounds pretty interesting. I feel like I'm a little bit out of tune, so I'm just going to quickly check. Apologies, bear with me, guys. How you guys all doing? You enjoying the lesson? Let me know if you're enjoying the lesson while you hear the beautiful sounds of me tuning my guitar. I did tune just before I did the live stream, but sometimes these things happen. Okay, I'm all good now, I think. Cool. So, that was tip number 3. Rajesh, would this chord be used in place of another chord, Dave? Thanks. Yes, and that's what we're getting to next, okay? So, this is where things get a little bit more exciting, okay? So, we're going to use this as a reharmonization method to use this chord, okay? So, what we're going to do is we are, first of all, going to write a melody, okay? What you want to do is you are going to choose a note that you're going to reharmonize. So there could be a particular chord being played over that particular note in the melody, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to play a major 7 sharp 11 chord over that particular note. So we are replacing another chord with this chord, potentially, okay? So what you want to do is play the major 7 sharp 11 chord that makes the melody note the sharp 11, okay? So if you take a look at the diagrams from before, take a look at where the sharp 11 is. That's where you want your melody note to be, okay? There you go, okay? So for example, that's not the one I want, that's the one I want. For example, if the note in the melody is E, we would play a B flat major 7 sharp 11. I know that says A flat major 7 sharp 11, but I did a typo. So it would be a B flat major 7 sharp 11. So B flat major 7 sharp 11. The sharp 11 is E, so we'd obviously play the E in the melody and play the B flat major 7 sharp 11 over the top. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's worth repeating, okay? So let's take a listen to the example that I created. Now this is going to be interesting. I've never tried playing over sort of like a backing track that I've created. It's not a very interesting backing track. It's just just another guitar track. But hopefully the audio comes through for you guys. Okay, so here's example number 4. So what we're doing here is we're playing a C major 7, and we're playing a basic melody in C major. Okay. Then over the last note in the first bar, which is D, that 7th fret of the G string, we're playing the A flat major 7 sharp 11. Okay, the A flat major 7 sharp 11 has that D as the sharp 11, and then we continue playing our melody, finish off with the G7, and then resolving on C. All right. So here's how the melody sounds on its own. Almost messed it up there. Okay, but now listen to how it sounds with that A flat major 7 sharp 11 chord over the top, all right? Bear with me. I messed up, let's do it again. All right, so it just adds a little bit of spice to the chord progression, okay? So that's how you can use the major 7 sharp 11 as a reharmonization technique, all right? Very, very spicy. If you get really experimental with this, you can really come up with some really awesome ideas, okay? And you can do it multiple times in the chord progression, multiple times over a melody. It really, really works very well. There's something about that major 7 sharp 11 chord that you can just play it anywhere and it kind of works. It's really awesome. All right. So there are more reharmonization techniques in my book, Chord Charisma. I'm going to keep going on about it because Chord Charisma is honestly the best resource for anyone looking to create awesome sounding chord progressions. Literally everything I could think of has gone into this book. Years and years of studying chord progressions has gone into this book. Okay, it's going to drop your learning curve by years and years and years. Okay, so yeah, cool. So is this everyone's first time watching a David Lovejoy live stream, or is this the second time watching a live stream? Did you watch last week's one as well? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to see who's new, who's been around since last week, who's an OG. That'd be cool to find out. But we'll continue now with the final technique. And also, just to let you guys know, there is going to be a Q&A after I finished going through all of these techniques. So if you have any questions about guitar, anything, me, whatever, my guitar, anything, just let me know in the live chat and I'll get to the questions at the end. So the final method for using the major 7 sharp 11 chord. Excuse me, I'm going to burp. Oh, not good. And I need some water as well. But the final method is modulation, changing keys. This is where things get quite exciting. Did you hear that? That sounded really funny in my headphones. Unprofessional. All right, let's continue. So basically, we're going to use the same method as the last method, method number 4, to play a major 7 sharp 11 chord. Okay, so we're going to play melody, then play the major 7 sharp 11 chord that makes the melody note the sharp 11. Okay. Now, as I said in method number 1, the major 7 sharp 11 chord works as the 4 chord in your key diatonically. Okay, but the major 7 sharp 11 chord we're using here is not in our key. It's going to be the 4 chord in the new key. So, for example, if we're playing in the key of G and the note in the melody was B, we'd play an F major 7 sharp 11 chord. Alright? And now that F major 7 sharp 11 chord becomes the 4 chord in the key of C. Okay? So we've changed from the key of G to the key of C. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments, but I think I explained it pretty well. Okay? I'll go over it again if anyone needs another explanation or an explanation in more detail. Okay, but let's take a look at the example. Okay, so the example starts the same as the previous example. We've got a melody here in the first bar. Yes, Nightbringer Fitness, Lawrence. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, definitely nick this chord, man. It is very, very useful. Very useful. So we've got, Chris, interchanging major and minor modes, Rajesh, Ionian, Lydian, and Mixolydian dominant. They all have the major third. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm live streaming and I'm really confused. I don't think I understand what you mean there. But I'm just going to continue, okay? So we're going to keep going. We're playing this melody in C major. Then we hit that A flat major 7 sharp 11. It just says an A flat major 7 there, but it is an A flat major 7 sharp 11, okay? And that triggers the new key. So A flat major 7 sharp 11 is the 4 chord in the key of E flat, okay? So we're going 4, 5, 1, A flat major 7 sharp 11, B flat 7, E flat. And then in bar 2, because we've switched key, we're now playing in the key of E flat, okay, with this this melody, okay? So first bar is in the key of C, second bar, key of E flat, and you'll hear how it sounds. And thanks, Kieran. I'm glad you like Chord Charisma. I designed it to be digestible and easy to follow, like you said. I'm glad it elevates your playing. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you. So let's take a listen to this example. Again, I'm playing over just a basic chord track with my guitar. Bear with me, 2 seconds. Okay. Take a listen. I messed it up. I always mess up the first try. Let's try again. Let me just go through the melody again. Okay, got it. There we go. Seamless and smooth key change there. Smooth and seamless modulation. Okay, using the major 7 sharp 11 chord. It is really an awesome chord. All right. So that is the 5 or the 5th technique. Those are all 5 techniques that I've covered now. Thank you everybody for watching. If you guys have got any questions about this video, drop them in the chat. Any questions about any particular subject, drop them in the chat now. This is your opportunity to ask any question to me that you've ever wished of asking me. Does that make sense? I don't know. This live streaming thing makes me not speak English very well. While you're thinking of your questions, if there are no questions, then I'm just going to stop the stream in a minute. But while you're thinking of some questions, then I'm going to plug my book. Okay, Chord Charisma 2.0. Grab the book. It is literally the best book on writing chord progressions ever made. I'm going to say it, ever made. It's the best book on chord progressions ever made, and you need to get it if you want to write good chord progressions. You're really missing out on writing the best chord progressions of your life if you don't get the book. Okay. Now, if you want to support the channel but you don't want to buy the book, you could go to my Patreon page. Okay, for just $2.50 a month, you can get all my practice routines. Okay, I've got 3 months worth of practice routines up there now, so you won't be lost trying to figure out what do you want to practice. It's all a structured practice plan. There are multiple things for you to practice every week. Okay, another way to support the channel, if you don't want to support monetarily, is to like the video if you haven't liked it yet. Excuse me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and share this video with all of your friends. Okay, so we're going to get into the Q&A now. Okay, so Chris, if you're playing over a major 7th chord, it begs Ionian, but since the context isn't fully developed, you could hypothetically add the sharp 11 and make a Lydian tonality. Yeah, that is true actually. Yeah, that does work. Are there many neo-soul songs that use this chord? So I wouldn't be able to name any off the top of my head, but I can guarantee you that there are probably loads of songs that use this chord. Yeah, so I can't name any particular ones, but yeah, no, definitely there are. It is a very useful chord, and I'd be very surprised if people didn't use this chord. Okay, so if there are not any other questions, I'm going to leave it another 20-30 seconds, and then I'm going to call it a day. It's been really good chatting with all of you guys. It's been great to see you here, and I really enjoy this live streaming thing. So hopefully I can build a bit of an audience together and turn this into something really cool. Okay, so I think we'll wrap things up there, seeing as there's no more questions. And I'll see you next week, probably. I'm going to try and do one next week. I'm quite busy next week, though. If not, it'll be the week after. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you later. See you later.